Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Tackle Shop Live. What's up, Tim McSee? First one on the live here. Good to see you, buddy. Jeremy Macbeth, Chris Benninger, Bob Donahue. What do you say, buddy? Scott Choate. Good to see you, buddy. We're going to talk about paddle tails. You better believe it. They'll work for you up there. Robert Mills, Matthew Weimer, Conway. What's up, Conway? Johnny Kopp. What's up, Johnny? Ron's back. Masson's in the house. Ed Ranowski. Stephen Black. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Paddle tails coming at you. You better believe it. Evening, Michael Bradley. Mark, how you doing? Joseph Cascarino. What is up? Yeah, Joe said he missed you tonight.
Unacceptable, Joe.
Unacceptable. Gio Miller, Greg Plank, Bob Austin, Danny Poust is in the house. Robert Murray. What is up, Robert? Hope everything's good down Tennessee. Jim Saban. Still in Wisconsin. Nice, buddy. David Schottemeyer. Yeah, buddy. Mike Barr. Good to see you today, Mike. Wowsy. We got a great show for you guys tonight. Man, paddle tails. Jeez. Love talking about paddle tails. You know, how versatile and how great they are. So we're going to jump into that topic tonight big time. Nick, how you doing, man? What's going on, pal?
Oh, you know me, Mike. I'm always pumped up.
You
know
are.
What really makes me pumped up? The fact that you got a big tournament coming up, which you're going to talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the other thing that makes me pumped up is we're going fishing Sunday.
Oh,
and I get pumped up because it's a great time of year.
Absolutely. We're GDP's coming into town. He's going to go down. You guys got to watch him. He's going down to Arkansas, down to the Bass headquarters. He's going to sit in for the live on the first EQ of the Bassmaster Open series. And he's going to break down and be a technical advisor there and talk about the fishing. So you guys can watch him on Saturday on FS1, I believe. You'll be able to see him on there. Then he's going to fly back to town here. He's flying into Harrisburg, and then we're going to get together and we're going to go fishing on Sunday. And we might even go live Sunday with him out on the water. So you're going to have to watch for that too, because we're gonna not only go live, but I think we're going to also shoot some great content out on the water. We're going to have some great videos for you guys coming up right after that. And then we're also going to try to plan something else in October. We're going to go out with him, possibly to the Bay, or maybe even drive over to Jersey and fish some of the water with him over there and do some cool stuff. So the next 3 months with him, we got some stuff planned. So a lot of cool stuff coming.
And I was thinking about that, Mike. You know, we got some baits that we want to trial.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was thinking about, Greg going down to consult or however that is with Bassmaster. And maybe people forgot, but his last tournament at Champlain, he was top 10.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, they got him in there for that reason, because he's kind of unlocked some secrets with that lake, and he knows that lake really well, and he does really well there. So that's pretty cool that he's gonna be doing that. But yeah, so season's kind of winding down a little bit for some people, and you got your boat that you've been working hard, fishing hard out of the whole year. And what things do you do to your boat, Nick, at the end of the year or towards the end of the year to make sure that you're because you've been pounding hard and you've been doing this? Is there things you do that you try to do to get it ready for the next year, or also just to kind of finalize the year and some different maintenance techniques that you do?
Sure, I traded in. I'm just kidding. There's not too much joke to that, but anyways,
yeah,
no.
Right.
there's a lot that you got to do. I mean, think about it. Everybody's in a different spot.
Yeah.
You know, some people are thinking about buying a boat. Some
Yeah.
people are thinking about, you know, their year with their boat, just like you talked about.
Yeah.
Some people are also thinking about what upgrades they want to do to their boat.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, you know, it's a great time of year to go, what's worked for me this year? What can I improve on my boat this year? Maybe it's electronics. Maybe it's a trolling motor. Maybe it's tighten your bolts up in your jack plate to your motor.
Yeah.
I also like to, you know, go over all my pumps. Your pumps have been working hard all year.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of guys don't realize it, but your pumps can start to get clogged up.
Yeah, you got all that, the grass gets in there, the bass spit up their crayfish and their shad, and you got all that problems you got to do, but I'm with you 100%. And one of the things is, you know, now that you're coming into the fall, you're going to deal with some winds, you're going to deal with some rougher water conditions. This is a good time to take a minute and tighten all your bolts up on your transom, jack plate. Make sure your motor's all lubed up. Make sure your steering's lubed. You know, and just go over the whole boat and just check it with a screwdriver. You know, little screws and stuff. We were talking about a funny story where there was a guy fishing with a pro. They're driving down the river and bolts are falling out from underneath the console. I mean, it's like, and the steering starts getting all weird. And so this is stuff that happens. It takes a whole year for this stuff to materialize. And if you let it go, then it just gets worse and worse and worse. So it's a good time of the year right now to get ready for the fall run, rough water, you know, different things, and maintain your boat, you know, work on your boat, tighten those bolts, clean out those traps down there in the live well, but also check your bilge pumps, make sure they're all right, make sure the fittings are all good down in there. That's all important, really important stuff.
And Mike, I would say your rub rails, make sure they're tight.
Yeah.
But another thing that's just as important as your boat, take care of your trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's getting you to and from wherever you're going.
Yeah. And you've been driving now for a whole summer. You know, spring and summer, you've been driving along. So, you know, take the time, grease your bearings, make sure they're all greased up, check your bolts on your tires and make sure they're nice and tight, because you can get some wobble in those things and they chew your tires right up right away. So there's a lot of maintenance on that. Check your brakes, your brake system, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very important. But yeah, I mean, it's just a good time, you know, for us guys who are still running lead acids in our batteries. Good time to water them up, check them out, get them watered up, make sure that you got plenty of water in them. And it's a nice little project for, you know, like an afternoon, you know, but you said something about the rub rail, you know, the rub rail, you can kind of look down and you'll see little bump outs, you know, and you get a screwdriver and you pry that out. And then underneath it's the screws that hold the top to the bottom. And those things work out over time, you know, and because it's taking that shock all the time. So you can pry that out carefully, tighten that screw down carefully, because you can strip them very easily, and, you know, tighten those down and get that thing locked in, and make sure that everything's tight there. So there's maintenance stuff that we do before winterization. You know, a lot of us are lucky.
Whoa.
Yeah, a lot of us are lucky that
George, do you know what that word means?
What word?
I did want to ask you guys something, because both of you are very familiar with this.
Yeah.
It's getting to that time of year that if you're going to stay underwater, I mean, not right now, but we're getting close. It's going to start changing. These bigger bodies of water are going to start getting really rough.
Yeah.
Just naturally.
Yeah, they do.
What are some things that you guys prepare for to be in a good spot with navigating in that kind of water?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the thing that we do really well is we understand the body of water that we're fishing. So we know wind direction. And that's the biggest thing about it. You know, you hear guys say, "Oh, I got out and topped the waves and I rode the waves down," and that's all fine and dandy. But there's some bodies of water where the bottom doesn't equal that. It doesn't equal consistent waves, you know, that you can't get on top of them and run them. And you have to know what you're doing when you get on top of waves and you run waves. So, but there's things you can do that's even better. You can run the leeward side of the wind side of the lake and then cut across troughs and stuff. So just knowing the body of water well, and knowing your wind direction for the day and how it's going to build out, for the day, and understand that, yeah, it's going to get 20, 25, but I'm going to be safe because I can run back this path or I can run back that path. And I only have to cut across the waves instead of ride into them. I can ride them across to get over to where I need to go because I rode up the leeward side. I don't have to fight that rough water for very long, so it's really, really good to know the body of water you're on. Do your map homework before you go. Understand the direction that it lays. We got weird lakes up here. We got lakes that run backwards. Racetown Lake runs a funky direction. Lake Oneida runs a funky direction, and it's just good to know where your north and south and east and west is and how the wind affects those bodies of water. Then you can run up that leeward side, not beat yourself up, and not beat your equipment up. So that was the point of this, is just to kind of say, hey, listen, tighten your screws, get your boat, do that little early pre-winterization, put the boat away type of thing. And but you can do that early now and get ready for that fall when it is rougher, and when you're putting your equipment to the test. This is the time to do it right now. You got September, which is terrible fishing, really tough fishing, and you got maybe this is when you have some free time before your fall run really starts. This is a good time to do that. So I just wanted to bring that up and kind of just remind everybody of that. LP bass, hunt around for little ramps. Absolutely, man. There's lots of things you can do. You can launch from different places when it's rough. I know we were up at Champlain, George and I, a couple times, and they were calling for a big heavy wind. So we found out where it was running. We looked on the map. We found some ramps that were on the leeward side where we didn't have to beat ourselves out of the same ramp all the time. So we drove around, launched at those ramps, fished a great day on the water, came back to that ramp nice and calm. It wasn't brutal. We weren't in brutal water for very long, and we were still able to do what we wanted to do. So really good stuff there. Put the boat away and said, George Asprin, yeah, well, you can do that too, brother. It's not very good. It's not very good, but it's something that you can do. Yeah. But 114 boats currently registered for the SFT kayak tournament. Let's go for 150. Absolutely. I think I saw 117 or 118 just before I went on. And I think we might even be over 120 now, because I got a couple things on my phone right as we were going live here. So I think we're going to be right at 120, and then we'll get a couple more or so. I really want to get to 150. But that's coming up, man. We're on the eve of registration here for the 2025 Susquehanna River Classic Tournament, the kayak series. A lot of excitement built around this tournament right now. We're very, very excited about it. Lots of people are already signed up. It's going to be a great event. The weather is going to be perfect. The water is perfect. It's nice and low for the kayak guys. The fish are starting to bite real good. They're starting to gang up. Things are starting to get really, really good out there. So we're expecting some big giant bags for this tournament. That I think we're looking at some big lengths coming up for that. So we're excited about that. But we are on the eve of the registration, and a registration's coming up tomorrow, starting at 2:00. We're going to be here measuring the boards and giving out the identifiers, and starting around 3:30, we're going to have a big barbecue here. We're going to be cooking hamburgers and hot dogs, and we got drinks. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on there for you guys as you get off the water after practice and want to come down and take care of that. We got all the rods here for the giveaways, and we're gonna have that all ready for you to give to you. And we got some great door prizes we're going to be giving out during the registration. And I just want to say, a big giant thank you to New Holland Auto Group for sponsoring our registration party. So it's going to be just a great event. It's going to be a good time. You guys can hang out here in the shop and get your last minute needs that you need for the tournament. You can talk fishing, talk whatever. I mean, it's all going to be fun. It's all going to be good. And you might even have a shot at winning some cool door prizes, which we love to give away. You know that. And so that's going to be exciting. And then Saturday morning, boats in at 6 o'clock, lines in at 6:30. We're going to be fishing till 2. And you guys, wish everybody the best of luck for that tournament. I hope you guys catch your personal bests out there and have a tournament of your life out there. I love handing out the money and the checks to everybody. And it's so exciting to see people that did well in that tournament, and especially seeing some new blood up there. That's the great thing, seeing that kind of stuff.
Hey, we got any predictions here?
Well, I mean, the way it's going right now, I think the winner's going to be, 98 to 100. Honestly, I think it's very possible.
Bold.
I think it's very, very possible.
Is that 5?
5. Yeah. So I'm not going to go to 100, but I'm going to say,
your bet's going to cover a 3-inch spread.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that's very possible that there's going to be, I think maybe even multiple giant bags like that, but I'm going to say 99.5.
All right. I'm writing this up because I know how twisted this gets.
Yeah. 99.5 is my guess for the winner. And I think you're going to get paid all the way down to like 92.
All right, George, you can't go over. Is that the rule?
The rule is closest to it.
Closest to it. 4 wings.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course. And Mike's going to be paying. So you and I are going to start fasting.
See how this is
tomorrow.
This is how it is. It doesn't matter if I win or lose. I still have to pay. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Nick and I are going to stop eating as soon as the tournament's
George
over.
Ashbridge says 93.5. Andre Albanez 91.3 for the winner.
Well,
I think that's a little low.
If I may. One thing that's happening on the Susquehanna. So the Susquehanna River does some very unique things this time of the year. Now, the free-flowing portion of the river, which our anglers are allowed to fish, probably I don't even know how many miles it is.
It's a long way.
I'm just gonna spitball 70 miles of river, and I don't know, 15 miles, 20 miles of the Juniata, 10 to 15 miles of the Juniata. An interesting thing that happens in those free-flowing portions is the fish, they're already starting to pack up into the big-sized schools. And they're looking for any groups of bait fish. And one of the things that happens on this river that's very unique is we have a migratory shad that spawns on this river.
Yeah.
American shad. And, mixed in with them, they drag some some herring up there too, because they're hard to separate in the spring when they're coming through. So what happens is when those young are of the age where they want to start heading to the ocean, they start coming down this time of the year in little groups. And it's like the Pied Piper.
Yeah.
So if someone comes across that, and it's not easy to come across, but if somebody comes across that group, then all of your fish that you weigh in will be 20 inches.
Big ones.
All of them, because you're going to catch multiple big fish. Now, if you don't come across that, it's a needle in a haystack, but it's very, very doable. And these guys are very, very good. They cover a lot of water. They're very, very good at what they do.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys that are fishing this tournament are sharp. They know this. So I'm going to say 1 or 2 of our contestants are going to get onto that, call it shad pattern, for lack of a better term. and they're going to catch 99 and a quarter.
He had to go right underneath me. 99 and a quarter. I'm telling you, it could happen. It could happen very easily. We're right on the cusp of it, Nick. That's the thing. It could happen tomorrow. It could already have happened this week.
Oh no, it's happening.
You know, there's different
It's
things happening that you know, there's some wolf packs out there. I just got, you know, that's all I'm going to say. There's some wolf packs out there.
All right. So you guys got your strategy. I got mine. Here's my strategy. There's 2 stations of Philadelphia, 94.1 and 97.5. I'm not going 94.1. I'm going 97.5.
There you go.
There is my strategy.
There you go.
Good luck, everybody.
Listen to them birds.
97.5. Yeah, well, you know, I think it's going to surprise a lot of people what actually wins. It's either going to be really low or really high, one or the other. But
well, I'll tell you, there's a dark horse too, and the dark horse is what the lower river.
Yes.
So once you start getting onto the lower river, you start picking up some dams, creating some, you know, small reservoirs. And at this particular tournament, 2 of those are in play.
Yep.
So you have a small reservoir up at Middletown area, and you have a little bit of a bigger one here in the Columbia area. Those bodies of water have all kinds of shad in them, particularly down here in Columbia where the store is. And there is some savvy anglers that fish this lower end. This is a whole different game down here. This is dammed up reservoir fishing.
Yeah.
Some free-flowing current coming into it. Lots of shad. The dark horse is the angler that gets on and cracks this code. This one here is a little more frustrating.
Very frustrating.
What'll happen down here is you'll see 100 inches of fish a couple times a day. But if you can crack that code, it could be right 2 miles from the shop here, 1.5 miles from the shop here.
Yep.
So going to be fun to watch it unfold.
Yep.
The bets are in the book.
Yep. Well, there you have it. There's our predictions for the tournament. You know, I'm really hoping that everybody just has their banner day. I hope everybody has their personal best weigh-ins on Saturday, and I'm wishing everybody the best of luck that's listening tonight for this tournament. Honestly, I just want you to go out there and just have the greatest tournament of your life and experience really what the Susquehanna River is all about, and then come across one of those schools of fish, because there's some unbelievable fish in the Susquehanna River, and there's a lot of them. So what an exciting event, what an exciting time of year for it. And what a great group of people we have signed up already. And for you guys that are listening tonight that are on the fence, we still have some openings. You can get in, get your money paid, and get that rod, that 13 fishing rod. And our major sponsor for this event is 13 Fishing. They jumped on board, and they're giving a free rod for every entry in this tournament. It's a Oath fishing rod valued at $100. They should be more. I mean, I don't know, Nick. Did you pick them up?
I'm telling you, when George and I picked them up at ICAST, we didn't believe it.
That's crazy.
They're light. They're sensitive.
They're beautiful.
What the heck?
The tapers are nice. The handles are beautiful. The rods feel great. We got a whole rack of them for sale in here. And every angler who signs up is going to get one of those rods. And what a great deal. And thank you so much to 13 Fishing for jumping on board. Rapala, the whole group of those guys. You know, that company is a phenomenal company, and to get behind grassroots fishing like this is just a testament to where they're at.
Hey, here's a good one. So Mike Reinhold has said 7 states are represented so far.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. All week we've had people coming in from all over the place. We had a guy from Georgia stop in here just to say hi, see the facility where we're at. He's wanted to know where the registration was, and he is fired up, and it's really, really cool. So and a big shout. I mean, speaking of Mike Reinhold, a big shout out to Mike Reinhold. He's one of the guys that he's been working with us now for a while, and we hired him on. When he retired, he was like, I want to work here, and he's here. He's here part time helping us out. But more importantly, he is one of the masters. He's one of the OGs of the tournament world of kayak fishing, and to have him helping George and I out and steering us down this dusty road, this place we've never been before in the kayak world has been absolutely unbelievable and made me feel so much more comfortable. I've asked him 100 questions a day about, this, about that, about other things. And he's just been right there helping us out with that. So thank you so much, Mike Reinhold. And everybody knows Mike. He's top notch, man. He's one of the best. He's honestly one of the best people you're ever going to meet. But not only that, he's very, very fair. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to this sport. And he's going to be one of our judges that's going to be judging everything. So, rest assured, it's going to be judged properly. It's going to be everything's going to be run 100% properly with him at the helm.
Great ambassador of the sport.
Great ambassador of the sport. Okay, fantastic. Good to see everybody stopping in. Scott Shea's here. Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to get this rod in my hand. Absolutely, Scott, man. I can't wait till you get it in your hand too. So all good stuff. But this is a tackle shop. This is a show about tackle. And this is our favorite segment of this show. And this is called Tackle Talk. Yeah. Everybody stopping in here, Tackle Shop Live. And for you guys that don't know, my name is Mike Acord. Right next to me is George Acord, and behind the camera is cameraman Nick. And we do a show on fishing tackle techniques, and just a bunch of great fishing talk. So, George, this is our favorite segment for fishing, for Tackle Talk. What do you got for us, bro?
I got a few things. I got a few things going on this week that are a little different. Kind of tied into our show a little bit. And just pretty cool stuff. So, a lot of new product coming through the doors here lately. Your 2026, all that stuff you guys saw us break down for iCast and you read about, and you're like, well, when's that coming in? Well, when's that coming in? Well, when's that coming? It's coming in now. So from now until the end of November, the bulk of all that product will be rolling through the door. It's coming in daily. Right before we come on the air here, we just unloaded another big truck, which will be breaking down and processing and presenting 3-4 new items for you next week. But this week, we've got a few things from Megabass.
Yeah.
We have got some Lose reels in the house.
Some brand new Lose.
Couple brand new
sexy
Lose reels with a new braking system on the bait casters that we're actually gonna break down the braking system.
Break down the braking system.
We have a new Daiwa reel that, of course, we're gonna break that down for you because it's a little confusing the way they launched it, but we're gonna demystify.
Yeah. Good stuff.
We have a bunch of new Megabass because we like Megabass. You like Megabass. I know you like Megabass. And let's start with that, guys.
But last but not least, we're going to have the Stallion break down the baiting needles right over here. The Stallion, get a picture of Stallion over there. The master baiter of all master baiters right over here. The Stallion, he is going to break it out and show you guys how to rig a minnow for fishing in the boils down in the boil.
All right. Well, let's see if we can regain our control of the show here. Yeah.
That's Stallion, the man, the myth, the legend.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna jump into some baits because we love talking baits.
All right, brother.
And we're going to talk about some soft plastics from Mega Bass that are new, relaunched. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Right on.
So a little music right there, producer man. I mean, I can drive the bus and make all the stops.
All right. There we go.
Yeah, that was great. That was good producing. Very, very much on cue.
All right. Thanks, George.
All right, peeps. We are going to start off with the Mega Bass Sling Shed. Okay, so we got some new color bags that are starting to show up. We have.
Is that going to be like the soft plastic? Or are they going to be separated into groups, or is it all going to be the green like that?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But
it's a beautiful bag, though.
I feel like what I'm seeing is a lot of the stuff that's earmarked for USA sale is starting to show up in this bag. But good thing is we don't fish with the bag. It is a damn nice, handsome bag.
It's a beautiful bag, isn't it?
It's got a good zip tie to it here.
Yeah.
So you can zip it up.
It's sturdy. It's a sturdy bag.
It's thick millage. Okay, so the Sling Shad, of course, is a fluke style bait. Yes?
Super excited about this thing.
So we have the traditional fluke style body. You know, the body is slit for better hooking up ratio because we're not going through all this plastic.
Yeah.
We actually have about half. It's also different densities of plastic that they use. It may have something to do with the colors. I'm not sure. Scented. Yeah, smells good. It's a shrimp powder that's added to the sauce.
Oh.
You like it a sauce? Because I like it a sauce.
Wow.
And you know, this bait is everything from, you know, the fluke style. You can go wide gap, obviously. Right? We can go nose hook. And we can nose hook this with more or less a shorter shanked hook. I'm not sure I have one here. Take a look in the old hook vault. But it would be more like a drop shot, wacky rig hook.
Finesse wide gap.
Finesse. Right, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. There we go. So this would be your typical, like, octopus, finesse wide gap, wacky rig. And, you know, you're just literally going to hook it like that. And fish it like a jerkbait. Or drop shot it. Now, I don't know. Here's what I've been doing. When I drop shot with a drop shot style hook, I've been coming in like this. And fishing mine like that. That's kind of how I've been rolling. Now, fairness to the conversation, I like a little less gap. This hook is in the sample bag, so it's probably 2 sizes bigger than I would choose, but it's handy.
George, you know that setup you got right there? Aaron Martins was all about that.
That's where I got it from.
Oh, really? There you go.
I studied Aaron Martin's rigging because he was ahead of the curve.
Well, yeah.
And I've noticed, I do this a lot, you know, drop shotting for smallmouth up north where you catch a boatload a day. I've also noticed I get more life out of my baits, which is important when you're catching a pile of fish.
Be interesting to know how many people on here nose hook as opposed to Texas rig off fluke.
So
that'd be an interesting question.
The first nose hooking rigging that I showed you, and let me back that out and show you again, is going to be for what Mike was referring to, which is when we talk like that about nose hooking a fluke, Yes, you could drop shot like this. Most people will. But what Mike's referring to is actually working a fluke like a weightless jerkbait with a nose hook. And for those of you that aren't accustomed to this technique, it works great.
There's no doubt about it.
I mean, it works great.
There's a bunch of people that like the nose hook, and there's a bunch of people like the Texas rig, like myself. But there's different actions and different, different reasons for both. I guess I don't know.
Hook style, octopus. But what Mike and I tend to gravitate to is what would be known as like a finesse wide gap, like a wacky worm hook or a drop shot hook with a little more gap, just because these are a little thicker up here. And I'll tell you, you get a lot of mileage out of them. You get a great hookup ratio. You're also going to drop shot this bait like this, right? Now, the way that I like to rig a fluke, me and Mike particularly, and a lot of people.
We don't nose hook. I mean, we just don't do it.
A lot of people rig.
We fish with guys that nose hook.
A lot of people rig this way.
And we argue all the time about it. What's better? Is that better? Is this better? And they swear up and down on nose hooking. We swear up and down on this.
A lot of people rig like this. This is your typical wide gap hook. It text posed.
We got a 50% already on here. Steve S. Worthy likes it nose hooked. George Ashbridge likes it Texas rigged.
Now, it's been interesting to follow the pros, particularly when they go to these herring lakes, and they're doing a round bend. So they're not doing a wide gap. They're doing a offset round bend.
There's one there, but it looks like it's real big.
Here we go.
Yeah, looks real big.
So this is an offset round bend. Rigging it exactly the same as this. So, you take your EWG out and you'll put your round bend in. And this, I would say, on what I've noticed on the pro rankings, this is probably the more accepted hook. Now, obviously, I have one that's a little big for this bait, but again, it's in the hook bag.
That's what you get. You get that open gap at the top there for a better hookup ratio. Is what the idea is behind the round bend. Whereas the EWG would lay a lot flatter on the back. And for the type of fishing we do in a shallow river, I think that's better. Less hang-ups, less grass pickup, less stuff like that.
Well, the other thing is the geometry of the hook. So if you look at the EWG as compared to the round bend, I feel like the EWG hook, the hook eye and the line tie are very much on the same plane. Whereas here they're not. And this is where a lot of the proponents of the round bend are crediting a better hookup ratio. And they'll follow through with that on like a big worm.
Mm-hmm.
Also.
Yes.
For example.
Yes.
So this particular bait is called the Sling Shad 5-inch. I mean, there's multiple ways to rig it. Jig head rigging is another way. So if you're thinking forward-facing sonar, shaking a minnow, if you're thinking not forward-facing sonar, Demiki rigging or shaking a minnow, this bait is perfect for that. It has the natural body roll that you're going to get when you put it on a jig head, just a regular ball head jig or one of the real specialized ball head jigs that are made for forward facing. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm getting to the point where I see some differences in the jig heads but not from catching fish. Like tungsten shows up really well. But I literally hook and land the same number of fish on those two jig heads and have for years, long before there was finesse or forward-facing sonar. A lot of the jigs are more balanced to try to maintain that level posture, and I think that's good. But are we catching more fish? I don't know. One thing I'll tell you, if your bait is moving, it's got the right posture. If you completely kill your bait and let it fall, and you have like a more balanced jig head, it's still going to fall more nose down, but it's not going to fall straight nose down. I mean, I like them all. My jig head box has gotten jacked up. I mean, I'm throwing some of the Gamakatsu. I'm throwing some of the Owner. I love this Kitech with the tungsten. This thing's a bad boy right here. This is the old Susquehanna fishing tackle brand. Caught many a fish on that. But anyways, just showing those different methods for the sling shad.
Love it, George. Got a question for you. You and Mike have both handled a lot of soft jerk baits in your life. What does that one feel in your hand compared to, the old trusty Zoom Super Fluke, weight-wise?
Well, that's a great question too, isn't it, Mike?
Oh,
we processed this order late last week. And, it was a lot of product to handle because it came in with a lot of other product. So we really didn't jump into the weeds. But the next day at work, we had the famous SFT Saturday crew was here. The Stallion, Skeeter Steve, me and Mike. Top-notch crew. And, we get down into the weeds on some baits. Like we have some breakdown sessions.
Mm-hmm.
We break out, we reconvene, we mix it up. Every single one of us walked out here with a handful of them.
Yeah.
They've got that dense texture.
Mm-hmm.
So, and let me try to put this into words. I love the question, by the way, there, Nick. I mean, you did good there. And this is what just came to my head. If you've ever fished a Zoom Super Fluke, if you hadn't, you're on the wrong channel. But stay with us. There's hope we can still save you. And then if you've ever picked up a caffeine shad from Strike King, and immediately there's a different texture to those baits.
Density,
sink ratio. This has that denser
feel to it.
Texture. Feel. This is going to sink a little faster. I've not thrown it yet.
Yeah.
I was going to fish it on Sunday, but my co-angler had other commitments, and so did I. Being quite honest with you.
Yeah.
If we would have went fishing on Sunday, we would be we'd be struggling this week.
Yeah, it'd be a bad day.
We'd be struggling this week, but
a bad week.
It's denser. I'm all about that shrimp scent.
I'm
all about that shrimp
scent. Let me have that bait. I got a little breakdown on that.
Check it out.
So that's a great question, Nick. It's and when I mess with this thing, I notice a couple things about it. Number one, it is denser. It's a little heavier. It's not as heavy as the Strike King. I think that's the heaviest.
Well, that's bigger too.
And it's a little bigger, but it's the heaviest. So that's going to be your fastest sinker, and I think everybody that's fished them will say that's probably the fastest sinking fluke out there in the market. If you put this up against a Zoom Super Fluke, you'll notice that the body is more squared off on a Super Fluke. So you have less tail on a Super Fluke. You have a little less of this. The sling shad, meaning just that. This is more of a slingy type of a tail.
I just happen to have one.
Oh, yeah. You can
everywhere I go.
Look how much longer the body is on this bait, on the Super Fluke, and you have a little less tail back here, and you have more flop in this tail on the sling shad. So you might get more of a tail whip on that bait. You might get that little shake tail whip, and then that little shimmer, a little bit more shimmer on the fall, but you're going to get that snap, kind of slingy snap to it, just because it's a longer tail with a shorter mid body right here. So that's exactly, this is my number one. I mean, of course, because this is all we've been fishing, this and some of the the Strike King and some other ones, but This thing right here is my bread and butter because I think it cuts squared off, cuts through the water, has a really straight cut on the jerk. So I'm really excited about this for the tail whipping effect of it and what that tail is going to do to the action. Rigged up like George and I like to rig it. So Sunday during our live, we'll test this out to see what we think about it, how these two baits compare, and that would be just a great little segment, little stack up of that. And
well, it's funny.
Well, fishing them weightless.
Absolutely.
Weightless. That's the way we're going to be fishing.
Yeah, shaking a minnow. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. So I was really. It was important to me that I asked you guys that question because when you're fishing a river, a lot of times, the zoom, you can't beat it.
Yeah,
because it stays in that strike zone.
Yeah.
But I did take notice, like when you go up to a lake like Lake Champlain, where you have that, grass that's down in
deeper.
Submerged.
Yeah, deeper.
A lot of times you need a soft jerk bait that's going to get a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those denser jerk baits are just a better option at that point,
sure.
Unless you want to weight it.
Sure, exactly. Yeah.
So it is an important thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Big time. Big time. Good question.
Most of what you're going to do on a lake like that is going to be forward facing with that thing on a jig head. Now, another thing you can do to get these types of baits a little deeper, and we've always talked about putting a swivel up your line. So taking a number 3 swivel, putting it up your line, that adds a lot of depth. But, we've been playing around with this option also. So this is the BKK weighted, Permalock weighted. Tungsten weight right there.
Yeah.
So right there's a 3.0 with a 16th ounce. Take that bait and get it right down there real quick.
Yeah.
So that's another option we've been playing with.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. What you got there, George? Cool stuff.
I have got
like cool stuff.
A little more information on the sling shad that I think is kind of important. There is about a dozen colors.
Great colors, man.
Great you are looking
colors.
At
you can go right on the website and check them out. Great pictures on there about them. You can see really what they're all about. Beautiful colors.
You're looking at $9.99 for a 6-count pack. And don't forget that shrimp scent. I think that's a player.
That is. We know about that shrimp
scent. I'm all
scent.
about that shrimp scent, especially as the water gets colder.
Nick, you know about that shrimp scent.
Hard to beat. That's right.
You had some experiences with that.
Oh yeah.
I was in a boat with you when you had some great experiences with that.
It makes a big difference.
Telling you, man. It's like night and day sometimes.
I haven't met anybody that fishes a lot that doesn't think that makes a difference.
If you know, you know.
That's right.
If you don't know, you wouldn't know. But if you know, you know.
But we'll teach you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Next up is the Spark Shad. So we got some sizes. We have some new colors. We have new packaging, which, as you can see, I'm struggling to get opened.
Beautiful. Because
there's all kinds of really cool staples everywhere you look. But let's talk about the packaging. So,
important.
When you get a collection of these good swim baits, you got a chunk of change invested, and they're very hard to keep pristine. You're not just going to take them out of the pack and throw them in a Ziploc bag or put them in a tray box. That's a bad choice. I recommend that you keep them right in their packaging. These things are, these clam packs. I mean, these little side fit, everything's just kept perfect.
They're fitted in there perfectly.
And what's nice about the new pack is you can close it again. The old pack was like a half a clam. And by the time you got it open, I mean, the baits were everywhere. But that's That's a 4-inch. Let me get a 4-inch out here. And then I want to get a 5-inch out here. And I want to show you the family. We got all the kids here. And then we're going to talk about some rigging options here. And
George, you just might have caught a fish or two on spark shads before.
Oh man, I'm a spark shad junkie. Mike actually taught me how to fish them a long time ago. But I've had
let's say that again.
Literally one of the best shallow water days of smallmouth fishing ever on one of these things. More than once. So let's check it out. Let's check it out. We have 3-inch. We have 4-inch. And we have 5-inch. 3-inch.
3 and 4 was the original sizes,
No,
right?
5.2.
It was?
Yep. These are nothing's changed size-wise. A lot of colors have been added. The packaging's changed. And the construction's been tweaked. You know, they're using some different plastics on these. But you have salty. These are salty and they're scented. Okay. You have the 3-inch is a 6-count pack for $8.99. You catch a lot of fish out of one bait. They're not delicate. The 4-inch is a 5-count for $9.99, and the 5-inch is a 5-count for $12.99. So all you guys that have been like begging for like a 5-inch mag draft, here's basically a freestyle version of it.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I noticed about it is it's soft but durable. You know, it's got a great kick in the tail. It's just a great bait. You know, the 3-inch for us when things were tough, you could catch fish on that no matter what, wherever you went.
Look at that shad color.
Unbelievable.
I mean, tell me about it. I mean, that shad color, there's a green pumpkin shad, a shad. There's a bunch of colors, a bunch of them. There's some JDM colors that we have in stock, some sight chartreuse and some bubblegum pink. But the 3-inch, we love, absolutely love this under these circumstances to rig on an Akashira screw head. Absolutely love it.
That's money.
These two things go together like peas and carrots.
Peanut butter and jelly.
You got a stiff mono loop tied into the hook shank. This whole area here does a very good job of holding the bait. You have a great hook. I'd call that probably a 1/0. Great sharp hook. A bunch of painted different head choices to match your bait. This one here is called Tennessee Shad. And you know, you're going to assemble this. One thing I want to do is show you is be a little careful. You know, always remember, keep it straight. And you don't want to really mash this thing up. You'll feel it go over that keeper and kind of suck down around that keeper. There's a little black bead that you're going to go up against. See, that's perfectly straight. Perfect fit. You got the little side planer fins on there. Show you exactly where to bring that hook out. You got that little blade. Do not underestimate the size fish this baby pulls. I mean, this thing is a beast.
Yeah.
This thing will pull giant fish. If you're around smaller bait, this thing will straight up pull big fish.
And George, with that setup that you have there, agree or disagree, you don't want to fish it too fast.
Slow and steady wins the race. And the other thing is, you don't want to fish it on heavy line. This is an 8-pound leader maximum.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, when you talk about that bait right there, Nick, it's like almost like a spy baiting type of thing.
That's what I was thinking.
You know,
yeah.
it's the spy bait, soft plastic spy bait type of it's a very subtle wobble on that bait. It's real subtle bait coming through the water like a spy bait or any of those type of baits, you know.
That bait, I mean, George and I, we totally agree.
Oh,
That is, if you don't know, you better.
Yeah, that's a
I'm going to tell you,
that's a good
and I don't know how to say these colors right, but there's one called Huio, 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 Huio,
HIUO or
Huio.
HUIO.
That is basically a French pearl white type color.
Mm.
Freaking money. There's one called Real.
Real.
This is Real.
Yeah.
Here's the 5-inch in
yeah,
Real.
who said that? They like that one. Somebody said they like that one on there.
Everyone that's ever used it has said they like this one. This is, I mean, if I can only have one, I'm having Real.
Dynamite.
But now this new shad pattern now got me a whole bag full of them too.
Well, George, when I went over there to see the colors, their colors are second to none.
Second to none. This is a dual density plastic.
Stallion brought us to Huio.
Old packaging.
HUIO.
Yeah. See? How do you pronounce that?
Huio.
It's like
HIUO, George.
No.
I told you it was HIUO.
First of all, you need your fishing rod with you.
Huio.
And I'm going 7 foot medium.
Huio.
And you get up on the trolling motor and you take your fishing rod and you go, Huio!
Exactly.
Because you're about to start slaying. That's the color. This is the color that Mike learned me on. And it was more than once.
Yeah, and it was a terrible day of fishing.
It was a good day of fishing that became more than once. It wasn't just one time.
Yeah.
It was a good day of fishing that gradually became a bad day of fishing. Or the midday lull, the late morning lull, whatever lull they were on. You know, they just clocked out for their break. And, you know, this is a problem solver.
Mm-hmm.
The 3-inch spark shad on the Akashira head solves problems. And you just bomb her out there and slow wind her back in. I like to use a 7-foot medium, fast, 7.1, 7.2. But I'll tell you what, if you're in low, clear water, I would have no problem putting this on a 7.6 medium light with a lighter braid and launching that cast into the next zip code. Because he who gets away from the boat the most catches the most.
Yeah.
So if you're in low, clear water,
bomb it. Send it.
Step up to your hair jig rod. Your 7.5, 7.6. I have one from St. Croix that's 7.11 spinning rod.
I was going to say.
Medium light braid. I still like an 8-pound leader. And I mean, you can put this bad boy out and they're going to call you AT&T because you're going to reach out and touch somebody.
Well, and one thing you brought up, George, that is crazy. A bait that small catches some big.
There's no doubt.
And you know, I mean, you've caught big bags.
Oh, we caught big fish with those things, man.
Oh man, we.
But Nick, it's just that little with that Okashira screw head. It's just that little thing that goes like this through the water. Just that little. I mean, it's just like
they can't take it.
I've told the story a number of times, but I got schooled big time by Ryan Buttermore, who was the national sales manager for Megabass. I mean, I mean, the school buses were rolling and school was back in session. I mean, I rode the short bus that day, and I'm just telling you right now, I had the same exact bait. Mine was already tied up. We didn't touch those rods for a day and a half, and then we rolled into this bay that was like Jurassic Park. I mean, they were just like torpedoes just idling everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to throw my hair jig. And the first fish that ate that was like 5 pounds. But he started just just abusing me with that thing. And I can't get bit. And he said, your jig head's the wrong color. And I'm like, this no.
Ain't no way.
And so he caught a couple more and he goes, all right, just keep throwing that thing. And I mean, they would not eat this thing. I swear to God, I had the real color. He had in his boat, he had the factory case pack. Plastic, a cardboard box this big, just all real. We used every single one of them. I mean, we caught fish till our hands were bleeding. But I cut that head off, and I hit the head on that he told me to put on, the Tennessee shad head on that, match that color. And I caught right back up. I was right back up in there. I mean, it was incredible. So pay attention to the small details on this stuff in clear water. Don't be stubborn like me. I had to learn 3 times. I had 2 lessons at his hand and 1 lesson at Ryan's hand, and now I'm dishing out the lessons.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the light. I've seen the light. Now, if the water's got a little bit of that green stain, that green to it, probably doesn't matter. But anyways, that's the 3-inch. Now the 4-inch, and I've had some really good success with the 4-inch. With just a standard jig head and a slow roll. So if you will, I would do a ball head on here and, vary my weight and my hook size compared to the size of my average fish and my conditions, windy, not windy, deeper, shallower. This is a 3/16 ounce 3.0, which is going to work just fine. And I've had wonderful catches on this when I've noticed bigger shad. I've done really, really well near the shop here. We have a testing grounds right down the road here that we fish a lot, and this matches up perfectly with like the first generation shad are sized up now because our shad spawned a couple times this year. So that's the 4. Now, can you belly weight these? Absolutely. You can take your belly weighted swim bait hook. You can also take your Permalock style swim bait hook with the internal weight, the Permalock style with the tungsten weight, the BKK, and you can use this to weight it. You can use a belly weighted swim bait hook. I mean, we have tremendous I think options in those hooks.
Yeah, that 4-inch is where that belly weight really starts to happen and starts to work a little nicer with that belly weight, especially when you're fishing eelgrass or, you're fishing around some kind of cover. You want that weedless ability. That's when you want to start doing that. Yep.
Yeah, or around, some cover like wood. If I can get away with an open exposed jig head on any swim bait, paddle tail, boot foot style swim bait, or I used to call everything a boot foot, but now we're starting to see some swim baits with some real other types of tails on them that are working well. So we're just going to call them soft plastic swim baits. If I can get away with a open hook jig head, that's how I'm going to roll. Another great option is, this option particularly on the 3 and the 4-inch, but certainly you can do the 5-inch this way also, but particularly on the 3 and the 4-inch, particularly this time of the year, but also in that kind of early to mid spawning period when they can get a little funky, is the underspin. So you can take your underspin option. Okay, this is the Strike King Fluoro Spin.
Awesome bait.
There's tons of them. The Strike King is awesome. The Dirty Jigs Tactical Bass is awesome. The Buckeye Spin. They're all great. This is really nice. This collapses on the hook set. But this is a great option for the 3 and the 4 inch. Particularly, like I said, those two time frames is when it really shines. It's also good on some deeper fish as you get into later fall, and some of your fish are like suspended around shad. This is a really good technique for stubborn fish in that situation too. The underspin. Now the 5-inch spark shad, and remember these are salty. They're also scented with that. Now these are scented with shrimp powder, and some kind of fish meal mixed in with it. You know, I actually think they used the name or the word organic.
Oh yeah, they're into organic.
I don't know about that.
They're making fishing rods with organic stuff in it now.
But the 5-inch. So now we're doing it all. We're jig head fishing. We're belly weight fishing. This baby is awesome. I didn't ever fish it a lot, but I've always done really well with it shallow. Fall time, I've done really well. Early fall, I've done really well. Shallower. Do not sleep on the 5-inch. You can belly weight it. You know, you can get yourself an owner, beast, probably a 3.0, or whatever your favorite brand is. I mean, Hayabusa has a great one. BKK has a great one. Gamaga, they all do.
I think 3 is a little small. I think you got to go a little bigger than that.
I mean, we should probably mix it up, match them up.
Yeah.
But I think a 3.0 would work fine. But it'll definitely carry a 4.0.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Go big or go home.
Especially depending on, what it is you're catching.
Yeah.
So that is the Spark
giants.
Shed. That's the Spark Shed setup, and a little bonus insight on some rigging that we've done with the Akashira head, with the standard ball head, with the underspin, with the belly weight. Yeah. So check them out. They're brand new colors, new packaging.
Beautiful baits.
And in stock big time.
Yep. Fish catchers. Right, Nick? Let's go.
I'm telling you, the only thing is we got to get a hold of Megabass and say, hey, you got the Okashira head for the small one?
Let's get a big one.
Some bigger ones going.
Wouldn't that be cool if you had a really big one?
Absolutely.
For the 4-inch and a 5-inch, like a bigger hook and a big blade on that sucker?
Yeah.
Oh, man, they'd kill it.
They'd kill it.
Oh, they would.
No doubt.
I don't know why we think alike, Nick.
Hey.
That's just what we do. We think alike. I've been thinking about that for a long time.
They call us tackle junkies.
Yeah.
And, everything else. That's the way it goes.
That's right.
I just say you're never satisfied. Always trying to conquer the next hill. Got a couple reels we want to talk about tonight on Tackle Talk. We got a little bit into that boot foot discussion there. So we're gonna revisit that here in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go a little deeper into the weeds on not just the what, but the why, and the when. We kind of gave you the what, and then we're gonna look at the why and the when on fish and paddle tail, boot foots, and some of the other options that are available in that world now. The shaking your minnow for forward facing has unleashed many options that we are catching fish on, shallow and deep. So we'll be revisiting that in a few minutes, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're going to talk about some shiny new things.
Beautiful little shiny things.
And we like shiny things.
We like shiny things, Nick.
We do like shiny things.
Stallion, you like shiny things? He likes shiny things.
Stallion likes shiny things.
Look at him over there.
So
look at him.
What we're going to do first is we are going to bring you the new Lew's Kevin Van Dam Elite Reels. So KVD has leveled up. His spinning reel is a little different. Okay, we have, I'll be honest with you, it's a much more compact reel than Gen 1. We have a tubular bail wire. We have a braid-ready spool, although I think the most...
That's the stupidest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's just the most overhyped thing in the world.
Who wants to put all 300 yards of braid on a reel?
And even if you are going to max it out with braid, put a little mono on first, because I've seen these things fail.
Yeah.
But anyways, that has no bearing on a negative comment on this reel.
No. Not at all.
Carbon body.
That's what's really cool about that.
Well,
I didn't realize that.
It can also suck.
Yeah.
In this case, I've already tested it, and it doesn't suck. And I'll bet you most of you people out there don't know why, the graphite-bodied reels can suck.
Can suck.
And that's because of the flex. So if you grab that reel foot and grab that rotor and torque the two against each other, this bad boy does not have give.
Yep.
And to the reel manufacturer's credit, they know that we know. So now they know not to do that.
Yeah.
But this is a carbon body that doesn't have a lot of flex. So it's probably like a long strand carbon.
Yeah, and it's nice and light. Gives you that nice light weight.
7.5 ounces.
Yeah, it's super light.
This is the 200 size.
6, 8, and 10.
Which is a fan favorite. Right or left hand, obviously.
I like the handle on them. Got a beautiful paddle handle. Not a paddle, but like a semi-paddle. Beautiful handle.
6:2 to 1 ratio, taking up 31 inches of line per crank on the 200, and 32 inches of line per crank on the 300. Here's your size comparison.
Bigger spool, for sure. What's the weight on the 3?
They're the same. They're literally like 7.5, 7.6.
Yeah, see that?
You can't even tell the difference.
Nice thing is if you want to do floor carbon and stuff like that, that little bigger spool might help you out a little bit with the floor carbon memory.
Plus, you're getting another inch of line per crank.
Yep.
And your ratio stays the same, and that's important. You want, when you're shopping for a spinning reel, if you're a finesse guy, and you're going to be drop shotting and wacky rigging and finesse techniques such as that.
Is that a smooth reel?
It's pretty smooth.
It's smooth, isn't it?
But anyways, as I was saying about the gear ratio, for that kind of finesse fishing, that gear ratio and that inches per crank is important. And somebody asked me the other day about the Daiwa Pro Rex that we're going to talk about next. And ours are $219.99. They're like, well, I saw them for $69.99. I'm like, that's the LT. That's a totally different reel, which I'm going to probably have to explain this 9,000 times.
Yep. The Daiwa does that.
It's not even close to the same reel, but here's the interesting thing. The LT 2500 is 5.2 to 1 ratio, takes up like 4 inches of line less per crank than the 6.2. And as I was saying earlier about the importance of that, if you're finesse fishing, bottom contact, you are always you got to pick the slack up, set the hook. You want more slack per crank. Set the hook, get behind yourself. You want to get back in front of yourself, less cranks quicker. So always look for that slightly higher gear ratio, and or get your inches per crank in that 31, 32, 33 range. And you'll be good. For these techniques. Now, if you're crankbait fishing with a spinning reel, because people say, well, why would you make a spinning reel with a 5-2 drum ratio? Well, that reel was designed for the lenders who do a lot of walleye fishing. They're the kings of multi-species. They like slower reels for winding, like shad wraps, and they do all their jerkbait fishing a lot of times on spinning. They do a lot of their walleye cranking on spinning. They want a slower, torqueier reel. Remember, we talked about gear ratio, guys.
Mm-hmm.
The lower gear ratio is like the power gear on your bike. You can go up the hill, but you can't go very fast without pedaling like a madman. The higher gear ratio, you got the speed, but it's a little harder or very hard to power up that hill because of the gear.
I'm a third gear guy for hills.
What's that?
I'm a third gear guy for hills.
Yeah.
Just saying. Tell you, dude. Save your ass going up them hills if you're in third.
Dude, the last time you rode a bike,
as opposed to fifth. Fifth kick your ass.
I mean, if you want to just completely
I'm telling you,
get off track here,
fifth will kick your ass. Three will take you up nice. Just saying. Just future reference. Might help you someday down the road. Go ahead.
I don't even know if anybody watches this show.
You started it.
All right. Well, KVD also has a new reel, a casting reel. And now, guys and gals, focus in on this, because what I'm going to do here with this reel is gloss over the high points, but I'm going to really get into the braking system. So last year they brought out the Custom Pro, the gold reel.
Yep. Loved it.
And that was the Paramag braking system, which had the, whoops, I need the spool here, which had the induction cup spring loaded. So this part of the spool here is spring loaded. It goes into this ring here. Instead of the magnets facing the spool this way, they face the spool this way. And that induction cup gave it like 2-stage braking. And when you get that Paramag dialed in, you can send it. I'm talking send it.
Yeah.
This braking system says Paramag RX. And I think Paramag, because of the popularity of that Paramag, possibly designed to cause, oh, that's Paramag. No, this is Paramag RX. This is rigid, attached to the spool. But what I want to tell you about this is I cast this. This bad boy casts, okay? Mm-hmm. This comes on the KVD. This comes on the Speed Spool RX. And this comes on the Accel RX.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they cast. So your magnets, and there's probably no possible way to see this.
No. But
your magnets are going to come out. So the magnet faces this way, not this way. And the magnet's in this little area right here and here. And what happens is, as you turn them up for more magnet, they come out and they get closer to that spool, that cup. You might, if you're really good eyeballs, you might be able to see them. Them little silver pieces right there.
I don't know. That's tough, but yeah,
I see them really good.
You can see them right there.
You see those silver pieces right there?
Beautiful.
And then you got the same thing on this side.
Cameraman Nick, that's some phenomenal work right there.
Staying on subject here. Try to watch those. Right there, we see them real good. Now I'm backing it off. And you'll notice.
Disappearing.
They're going back into the reel. So farther away, less braking, tighter in, more braking. And once you get this dialed in, this reel casts very, very well. The other thing they did on the KVD reel is they put in the big pinion gear. So this is your pinion gear here. the brass piece that is moving. The pinion gear meshes up with the spool, the T-bar, winds the spool. This pinion gear is supported on here and here. So this pinion gear can't move. Okay? And a little tricky to put back together. Not really. Never force it. So you got the KVD $179.99.
Great price for that reel, man.
Aluminum frame.
Yeah.
You can't do a graphite frame on a reel that gets used as hard as all of us use reels and all of you use reels.
Very important.
You got to have an aluminum frame.
Yep.
Because you're just putting a lot more oomph on those reels.
Well, the name KVD, he fishes those reels. So he needs that aluminum frame. Big time.
Well, so does everybody else that fishes hard.
Absolutely.
Graphite side plates, seven double shielded stainless bearings, 1 roller, 6.2 to 1 gear ratio. That's his big. He's a big cranking with that ratio. That's 25 inches per crank. 7.5, 31 inches per crank. That's your all-around reel. 8.3, 35 inches per crank.
Smoking.
We call that the flipping and frogging reel, or you might be all around with that. 6.9 ounces. So nice reel, $179.95. The RX.
What's that one, George?
This is the Speed Spool RX.
Speed Spool RX.
So the most popular reel in their line is the Speed Spool LFS.
Yes.
This is the Speed Spool RX.
Right. Same casting system.
It's a Speed Spool LFS with the RX system.
Yep.
To break this one down a little easier, this one's a gray KVD Elite.
Yeah. I don't know. This one has the hook holder.
I'll see your hook holder and raise you a hook holder.
Okay. Hook holder's on there. You didn't hit that one. Huh?
I like to keep some surprises for Christmas morning.
Okay.
Does that have the line? Does that have the line tamer? The line reminder? Reminder?
Right over here? No.
Okay.
That one have it?
Yeah.
No.
$179.95. It's a gray KVD Elite. Instead of a 6.2 ratio, you're starting at a 6.8 ratio, which is interesting for you guys that like to crank in that 6 range, one reel or the other. So the 6.8 is 28 inches of line per crank. The 6.2 is 25. So pay attention to those gear ratios.
Yeah.
The RX 7.5 and 8.3 are identical, but the 6.2, 6.8,
yeah,
something to pay attention to.
Big time.
So new this year from Lew's.
Love it.
In stock, ready to roll. And looking good.
Let's talk about that other pretty reel you got up there.
That purple one?
That's purple. That is purple.
So a couple things I like about this reel. First of all,
it's Daiwa.
Daiwa uses a body material that is also not aluminum. But I'm telling you, it's more rigid than aluminum.
Yeah. Zion.
And this is now Zion 5. It got even better.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So now we have
Love Zion.
The Pro Rex. Now, if I could get real with you for a minute, they're talking about this being a cold weather reel.
I don't understand that.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a great quality reel that is designed for the lenders, and they like to fish in cold weather. There's not any special cold weather grease in here or any special cold weather gearing in here. And I appreciate that they want to call it cold weather. They're not doing you a disservice at all. This is a badass reel. So basically what you have here is a Zion 5 body. You know where else you find this body?
No.
The Tatula and the Ballistic.
Wow.
This is an MQ body, meaning this big plate right here is your access into your reel. Your reel is one piece.
Yep.
And you take that plate out to get into your gears. Rigid, solid, tight. You know who else has that body?
Yeah.
The Tatula and the Ballistic.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at the prices of the Ballistic,
Yeah.
and you look at the prices of the Tatula, which is a little under this by $20, this bad boy right here, and then check out this 2500 size with that spool. That spool is sweet for light braid and light line. This is a very well thought out reel.
Yep.
This is a very well made reel. When I was first presented this reel pre iCast, I was lukewarm at best.
Disheveled.
Lukewarm.
Disheveled, I think.
I don't even know what you're doing. And then, I went out to iCast. I got with their real people, and I went, oh, yeah, this thing is legit. You know what got me screwed up? I got it confused with the LT. And the LT, to be honest with you, is a purple Regal. So, no offense. I'm only heaping praise upon this reel.
Yeah.
I mean, praise is being heaped over here. I love this reel.
Important to know that
tubular bale wire.
They are going to push the cold water thing on it, but it's a good freaking reel.
It's a good warm water reel.
It's a good reel.
I'm just saying,
great price range reel.
Don't limit yourself on that reel to thinking it's a cold weather reel.
Exactly.
It's a warm weather reel.
I don't even like that marketing
it's a
strategy.
Cold weather reel. It's got one corrosion resistant ball bearing. So there is a ball bearing in here that will not rust.
Period.
Okay. Probably that bearing is on the line roller because that's where the most water is going to make contact. I don't know where it is exactly. It's a one corrosion ball bearing plus 5 stainless ball bearings plus 1 roller bearing. 2500 is 34.5 inches of line per crank, 6:2 to 1 ratio, as we stated earlier. The 3000 is a slower reel. It's a 5.2, and it cranks in less line at 30 inches. So this is a power reel. If you like to throw a crankbait on a spinning reel, this is your guy. Get the 3000. Okay? Winding a bait, get the 3000.
Yeah.
Finesse fishing, bottom contact, upward rod posture, get the 2500. Simple. $219.99. Beautiful stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Love that, George. Love that reel. Plus, it's pretty cool looking with that purple.
It kind of grows on you.
It does. The KVD red grows on you too. When I first saw it, I was like, ee! Now it's like kind of cool. I like it.
Guys, did you watch any of the weigh-in or follow any of the Bassmaster EQ #1 on Lake Champlain today?
Ridiculous.
Well, the first thing I thought, George, was 2 weeks ago, we were sitting here 3 weeks ago. I don't know, we were debating what was better, St. Lawrence or St. Clair. But there's a body of water that's going, wait a minute.
Wait a second. Stallion's favorite angler, Trey Buck, absolutely is killing it.
Most people call him Greg.
We do.
But the Stallion calls
him Trey Buck.
Yeah, check these weights out. Matt Messer, 23.9.
Crazy.
Gray Buck, 23.8. Russ Lane, 22.9. 10th, that's 5th place. Russ Lane's in 5th place.
Yeah.
22.9. That's 1 pound from 1st to 5th.
Yeah.
From 5th to 10th, 21.13. That's 12 ounces from 5th to 10th.
Yeah.
From 10th to 29th, where Ed Logren resides, is 21.13 to 2010. 1 pound, 3 ounces in 19 positions.
Crazy.
42nd place has 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So if you're catching 4-pound smallmouth all day long, congratulations. I hope you're enjoying yourself because you're going home Saturday.
The other thing that's crazy about that is you just went through them weights, George. It looks like, oh, I'm in first place, but you're not far away from being way down. I mean, it's going to really change tomorrow.
So you could take 42nd place tomorrow, could go out there and have one of those days.
Yeah.
You know, I think Lunker today was Gray Buck with a 5.8.
Man, was that smallmouth?
Yeah.
Golly, bum.
Which is a good fish.
Jeez, that's a nice one.
But
it's a beauty.
There could be somebody that goes out tomorrow and catches a 6.8 and 4.5s, and somebody in the top 5 could stumble and only bring in 19.5.
Only.
Now the 42nd and 5th just switch spots.
Think about this is like how difficult is this? It's so difficult.
Well, it has me thinking one thing, Mike.
What's difficult?
Catching that fish, but it has me thinking something here.
It's just unbelievable.
I say we let them get this tournament done this week, and next week we go for a road trip.
And I go up there and I'll catch 20 pounds and I'm jumping off the ceiling. Like, this is the greatest day of fishing I had in a long time ever. And I caught 20, 21 pounds and I'm flipping out and I get nowhere with it.
Yeah. If
this is what I'm talking about
right now, George, where are you at?
45th,
42nd.
42nd.
And you're going back to the house tonight going,
yeah,
how do I better that?
I mean, come on, really, Nick. Listen, everybody watching, how many days have you gone out and caught 20 pounds of fish?
Too many to count.
Even on those bodies of water where you go out there and fish and you do 19 and a half, and you're like, oh man, I had a great day of fishing. I caught all these fish. Go home.
Well,
I wouldn't want to be a tournament angler any of these days.
There's other factors.
I don't even want to.
There's other factors at play on Champlain.
Nope.
So you're up north. So your weather situation is, I mean, it's more than just what if. You know, these guys might not be able to fish where they were fishing tomorrow if the wind decides to crank. So you got the vastness of the body of water. You've got the very, very unpredictable winds up there. You've also got like this crazy nomadic nature of the bait. You know, they have these like green minnows, emerald shiners, I think they call them. They have alewife, which is a deep water shad type fish. They have perch, and these fish will favor one over the other. The emeralds are pretty much safe. They can they can just
go around flipping everybody off.
What up, homie? You know.
What's going on, man?
What up? The perch and the alewife, though, they're in big, big trouble. And if you see what these guys are all doing, they're all offshore scoping. Now, I'm sure somebody went largemouth fishing today because it's that good.
Is this live, George?
Sunday.
So here's a question for you. Yeah, there's a lot of listeners going, wait a minute. I thought the elites were over. I know the opens are over. What the heck are you talking about? Set the stage, George.
Well, you know, the opens are the pathway to the elites. And this year they changed the qualifying process. So this year you fish, I want to say 9 opens.
We don't have to fish them all.
Well, you do unless you ace your division.
Right. You don't have to fish them all. You either fish 4 or all of them.
Yeah, you can. You can fish your division or all divisions. If your burning goal is to make the elites, you're fishing all 9 of them.
You should.
Which is what these guys all did.
Not all of them did that, though, George.
Most of them.
There's a few guys that qualified that only fished one division, which I thought.
Well, whether you fish one division,
I'm just saying, I thought that was interesting.
3 divisions.
It's an interesting fact. I thought you might say, oh,
but it's not. It's not really that big of a deal when you think about the deal is you got to finish in the top 50 in your division or overall.
Top 50 in your division.
And then you get invited to the EQs, which is a 3 tournament shootout. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, dust is cleared, the top 9 become elite series anglers.
Isn't it 10?
9.
It is 9. I thought it was 10. I'll fact check you guys on that.
I'll tell you what. I like the process because a lot of people said, well, the Opens anglers is the working guy. And well, not anymore. The Opens angler is the guy that wants to fish for a living.
Yeah, it's not.
And you know what guys do that fish for a living? They fish. They don't fish 4 tournaments. They don't fish 8 tournaments. They fish 35 tournaments.
They fish all the time.
And you guys, what's really cool to me is we get to see the elites in the Opens, and they always end, and we're like, man, they missed a great time of year.
Yeah.
Now at least we're seeing that.
Yeah.
And look what we're seeing.
Yeah.
It's interesting too. I like the way they scheduled it. They're working from north to south now because, by the time this thing ends, it's going to be pretty darn gnarly up north, and it's prime right now. So you're prime up north, working your way down. I believe Pickwick is next, and then I want to say they finish up on Okeechobee. Which was just voted the most polluted lake in America. I don't know how true that is.
Okeechobee?
Yeah.
I believe it. Wow. Absolutely. All that dead red algae that they have in the canals up there gets sucked into that lake all the time. I would never go to that lake ever.
So watch that tournament, follow that tournament tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day to watch. Our very own Greg GDP De Palma is going to be on set in Arkansas, navigating or commentating, I should say, the tournament, with the crew.
Yeah.
He's going to be on set with Tommy Sanders.
Yeah.
And all the rest of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Who I can't think of their names right now. Robbie
Mooch or whatever. Is that what?
Robbie, and
the Mooch,
and
which I don't think's on anymore.
He's not on.
I don't think so.
I don't know, but anyways, Greg's going to be on that show tomorrow.
That's all that matters.
That's going to be fun to watch.
Not tomorrow, on Saturday. Yeah.
I thought tomorrow was Saturday.
No, tomorrow's Friday.
Saturday.
Yep.
And then he will be hopping an airplane and flying back to Harrisburg and driving to the shop here and working here for the kayak tournament weigh-in procedure.
Yep.
And after awards ceremony. And then Sunday, we're all going to go out and do an scheduled on the water filming segments for social media. We're going to probably pop in and out live. And boy, do I have a bucket of brand new, not yet out samples for us to fish.
Yeah.
All kinds.
Yep.
And that'll be on Sunday. So
now, George,
watch that.
So we did touch base on the paddle tail at the beginning of Tackle Talk, and
I like to call the boot foot.
We kind of yeah, exactly. I'm a paddle tail guy. I call it a paddle tail. You call it a boot foot, whatever.
I'm a boot foot guy.
It's the same kind of thing.
It's exactly the same.
But
tomato.
There's a lot to it, and there's a few things that you didn't cover that I think is very, very super important. And
I tipped the iceberg.
Yeah, and the thing about a paddle tail or a boot foot bait, guys, is you can fish these things year round, literally year round, and there's just different sizes, there's different shapes, there's different forms, there's all kinds of different things with that you can move through, and that's important to understand this. So we want to touch base with you from now until until it doesn't work anymore, which is super cold water. So and some of this stuff is rigging, and some of this stuff is how you fish it, and the why and the where and the when. So what do you got, George? How do you want to start some of that? I got a lot to talk about on it too.
There's a couple things I'd like to go over that I think a lot of people don't necessarily do with the boot foot. One is essentially focusing on, for lack of a better term, fishing it like a shaky head. putting it on a ball head jig. And just putting that thing on the bottom and just dragging it and shaking it and dragging it and shaking it. And when it's a tough bite, when it's cold front, post cold front in the fall, post cold front in the spring, wind blowing out of the north, tough bite. This is deadly. Now, what you put on here, that's going to vary. I have my go-to weaponry for that. I'm a big-time swing impact guy with Kitech. I mean, it's just a confidence thing. I love the tail on this. I love the way it acts on a ball head. And make no mistake, I've done this in warm water too, in deep water.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great warm water technique. It's a great pressured fish.
I had a really tough bite one time on Lake Erie. Mm-hmm. And I was catching them, dragging this thing.
Yeah, and I fished in the Susquehanna River around a lot of people that were pounding this area.
Shaky head that thing.
And I've caught them on that thing better than anything else that I've been throwing.
It's a deadly technique. So, kind of dragging / shaky heading a small boot foot, and it's pretty much year round.
Yeah.
Technique, 30-something degree water to whatever.
Well, that dragging technique is a key element in boot foot or paddle tail fishing, and it's something that we don't do enough of. And a lot of us throw a paddle tail out or a boot foot out and reel it back, and never ever contact the bottom, or ever just contact it every now and then. Then there's the shaky head kind of method where you're either using current to move it and bounce it on the bottom, or you're just hopping it like you would shaky head worm and get that little bit different profile. But the other way is just to slow roll. I mean, literally slow roll these paddle tails or boot foots and almost constantly contact the bottom all the way along. And you're not trying to stand it up. You're not trying to do anything. You're just rolling it along the bottom, very, very close to the bottom. And it's a big fish. I mean, I've had success with it with fish that were super ultra aggressive, and I had to get away from the little fish and get down to the big fish. And I've had great success with it when the weather was horrible, the water was cold, the fish were, kind of weird biting. I do really well with it that way too. And I like to fish that on, a jig head, a heavy jig head. I'm talking, whatever it takes to get on the bottom and maintain the bottom and barely move it across the bottom. So I'm fishing, and I like a big bait. I'm doing this like from now until it gets too cold, which with a bigger swim bait really happens.
Hey, you're throwing a lot of 4.8.
Yeah, 3.8s, 3.3s, 3.8s, and 4.8s.
I know you throw a lot of the 4.8.
I'm bigger on the 3.8, George, but I do throw a 4.8. But I'm really big on a 3.8 on a 3/8 to a ½ ounce jig head, and really just slow rolling that thing right along the bottom. Now it's a painful technique, but and the bite is, you got to really pay attention to the bite. You got to really have a sensitive rod. I like 15-pound fluorocarbon or a 12-pound fluorocarbon, either one. I like that contact. I fish it on a medium heavy rod, and I don't need a fast gear ratio reel because I got to concentrate on going real slow. The bank is tapering deeper. My bait's starting shallower. I'm going deeper with it. So I need to be able to contact all the way down that contour. So it's really super important not to over reel it.
You know who else likes that?
I don't know.
Fish on.
Fish on?
Fish on. Fish on nailed it.
Dragon.
So dragging a big This is a 6-inch version on a wobble head. And fish on. This thumbs up is for you, sir. Because this is deadly. Put whatever you want on here. You like the Strike King, you like the Kitech, you like the Jackal, you like whatever. This is a Z-Man. I like that. Drag out on the bottom on the wobble head, and now you're getting a slow little flippity floppity. You got freedom of movement. This is good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
You guys, well, Mike, you talked about it. Talk some more about the bite and what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just a really tough bite. When their fish are picking these things off the bottom, it's just a weight. It's a pressure bite. And pressure bites are so hard because it's the time of year when there's a lot of leaves coming down. There's debris on the bottom. You could be picking that up, and you need to know the difference between a leaf and a pressure bite. A pressure bite is where you're just reeling along. There's kind of a mushy kind of feeling, but then there's a little bit of weight that is attached to it, and that's when you set the hook. It's not easy. You need to lose some fish. You need to go, oh man, I just had one. You know what I mean, Nick?
Yeah, exactly.
You need to have a couple of them to figure out the difference between a leaf, because you'll set the hook on a leaf or a twig.
Yeah, it ain't that thump that you're used to, or
No, it's just a pressure bite. It's a very difficult bite, but it catches giant fish, smallmouth, largemouth, whatever. It catches those fish that are just like lethargic but want to eat, don't want to go, don't want to do this, don't want to do that. They want to do, you know what I mean? That's a very, very important, and it's I think an overlooked thing. I think fish on with the Dragon, the wobble head
killed it,
is another way of doing it. It's the same type of thing, but there's not a lot of people doing this. Not a lot at all. And it is an absolute deadly technique.
And the key to the wobble head is the same as the key to the drag, upsizing your head. You want it to be heavier.
You got to be heavy.
You want that wobble head down there just knocking into people's parked cars, bouncing off of their mailboxes, and just generally causing a ruckus. Now, I think what we're getting at with this bait, which we all love, from little bitty to big boy, we all love them. All the brands, all the styles, all the rigging, from shallow to deep, from slow to fast to painting rocks. This bait, it doesn't really get a whole lot more important.
I mean, the big thing, what's that? The big thing is that mess with that, mess with the different rigs. The underspin is another one I think George touched on earlier. That's another one that'll enhance that paddle tail, will enhance the bait. But don't forget too, right now it's warmer. There's the burn, there's the chuck it out and burn it back. That still works. The steady retrieve still works with the paddle tail. It allows you to cover a lot of water, and that's very, very super important. And George and I can tell you that, when we've been guiding for a lot of years, it's so important to have that nice steady retrieve, and how important that is also. So as the water cools, or as you get a cold front or high pressure, slow that thing down, get it on the bottom and drag it. Mess with size. The size thing is important around the style of bait, the size of the bait you got around. The later in the year, I'll tell you, the bigger the bait. Right now, you can really mess with the 3-inch and the 4-inch and find the right size for the bait that you're in.
Well, look at the bait fish.
Yeah, exactly. You can really pay attention to that.
You could be fishing 6-inch right now.
Yeah. I mean, you could. It's the start of it.
I'll guarantee you.
It's the start of it.
There's a whole bunch of guys up here at this Champlain tournament that are shaking 6- and 7-inch minnows.
Yeah.
Because those fish are eating perch.
Yeah. Where they're at, absolutely. 7.5 hours north. The temperatures are different. The water temperatures are coming down. They've had a lot of nights in the just above freezing or even at freezing. I know at my mother-in-law's place, I woke up one morning to go trout fishing just the other week, and it was 43 degrees. Froze my butt off. I only had shorts. It's crazy, but I did. And so, just keep that in mind. Size, retrieve, but don't forget to drag with these things, man. I'm telling you, it's such a deadly technique. I've caught so many fish all over the place on it, and it really, really made a difference. So I hope that was enough information. I don't know if we got into it as much as we wanted to, but George has the rig of the week coming up here. We have to talk about that. He's still over here rigging. The rig of the week.
Yeah, well, this is one of my favorites. Now, I'm not really fond of the name. This is called the donkey rig, but I disagree with that. Because long before it was called the donkey rig, we were fishing it, and it was the double fluke rig. And that's what will always remain. But to make, people happy out there in the world, we're going to call it the donkey rig and or the double fluke rig. And I'm just going to tie her up here real quick for you. And I'd really like to go over the rigging part of it, the nuts and bolts, because that's where it's important.
Need help tying a knot there, bro?
So, generally what I do is I upsize my leader a little bit. So if I'm typically fishing like an 8-pound leader, I like to go to a 10. If I'm fishing, some bigger open water fish, and I'm fishing 10, I'm going to go to 12. Because this rig takes a little bit of a beating. All right. So let's talk about the nuts and bolts here. And Mike's going to hold that hook for me. So the way I like to tie this up is my top leader. I like that length about a little shorter than this. I like it to be about
7 inches.
Right in here. I like 9 inches right in there.
I'm a 7-inch guy.
And I like this to free slide on here.
That's important. Right there is important.
So we have a barrel swivel. This is our main line. We have a barrel swivel, number 7. Leader, your style of hook, whether you're nose hooking or I like to do the wide gap. Then, so that this will only slide so far, we hit the next barrel swivel. And then I like this leader to be about 18 inches. So these leaders are a little bit longer than I normally would be. I mean, it's not that critical, but I do like about 9 and 18. Okay? And then you're going to put your 2 flukes on.
Which is the great part of this, because it's endless what you can do with this. You can go 5.5-inch fluke to a junior size on the other one. You can do a white one and a bubble gum. You can do double whites, do double 5.5. So you can, depending on what you want to do. I kind of like the 5.5 on the long leader and a little short one, like a junior on the short leader. And it's almost like that short one comes, it's like this other fish is getting that. You know how it is. This kind of creates this guy like, oh, you're picking on that poor guy? Huh? What's the matter with you? I'm going to smoke your ass down here, And then that's what happens. You know what I mean, Stallion? That's how you catch the big ones.
So, a lot of this bait choice is obviously going to be very important to where you're fishing. But if you're in a early fall to mid-fall body of water that has shad in it, and I don't care what kind of shad they are, gizzard shad, threadfin shad, I don't really care. These fish are all about that. And that's going to dictate your bait choice. So obviously, if it's big shad, you're going to do a big bait. So here we have 2 full-size flukes. I'm going to say this is pretty standard. But to Mike's point, if the shad are a little smaller, we have done extremely well going to a junior up here. So the moral of the story is don't be afraid to experiment. Mike Dove asked, what type of swivel do we use? It's a number 7 barrel swivel. So if you go buy a barrel swivel number 7,
there's a million different brands out there. It doesn't really matter.
Just get a number 7 barrel swivel.
Yep.
And I like to fish this on. I'm stuck on a spinning rod, but I fish it on casting also. But I really like to throw it on a spinning rod. I just do. And I don't want a super light rod. I'm usually medium to medium heavy. 7 to 7 and a couple inches. And like I say, I am upsizing my leader. So
what's really cool about this rig, George, is when you're working this rig, everything comes up tight and there, dunk, 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 and then when you stop it, it does one of these spread apart things, and they kind of go like this. And then as soon as you pull back up on it, it comes back up, and it just kind of stays
it's
right.
Almost free rig like.
It's like this right here, and then when you stop, it breaks apart, and it does this really cool break apart swivel. And with this thing right here, it can slide up your line and get out of the way and do its own thing. And this can do its own thing. But then when you hook the fish and you're in the wolf pack situation, you usually hook them on the back one first. And when you're reeling that fish up, you're fighting it. Then this is right here, and the second fish grabs this one.
Happens a lot.
It happens a lot. You can catch 2 fish at a time. And then what's nice about the sliding swivel, again, you can fight those fish independently. And they don't have as much leverage to throw it if you're on a 3-way swivel, which a lot of guys do, or they'll even tie off on a second line right off the top of this barrel swivel right to here.
I don't care for that.
This gives you the ability to land those fish. It gives you a lot more action when you stop. You get a lot more spiraling. You get a lot more spiraling and movement on your bait when you stop. And when you tighten it back up again, I mean, it's the greatest looking setup you've ever seen. And it's absolutely deadly. So changing colors, changing sizes, different size baits, different size colors, matching the hatch, not matching the hatch, bubble gums, whites, all shads, all that stuff works great.
I think the most important part about it is that you are creating competition. And, there's a lot of the year where there's not competition, but when the shatter's spawning, there's competition. And then in the fall, when the shatter's schooling and the bass are schooling, there certainly is competition. And in those 2 periods, this is when this rig shines. A lot of the middle ground doesn't really shine.
Yeah.
But spring shad spawns and the fall, oh, hell yeah.
What's crazy about what you just said, George, about it doesn't always shine. When you see that rig come through the water, you're like, "This is the coolest thing." I mean,
it's like everything in the lake should catch it, to jump on it.
But you're right.
You need the competition. You need the schooling fish. You need that schooling activity, meaning wings, tails, etc. So Mike Dove's asking any certain companies of baits that we like to use on them. I don't. We use a fluke style bait.
I use a Zoom fluke style bait.
Yeah, that's
called the Super Fluke.
Yeah, we use a Super Fluke and a Super Fluke Junior. That's what we use. You can use Strike Kings. You could use anybody's company, really, honestly. Big Bite Bait makes a good one. They're all good. They're all work. It's just get the size right, get the sizes close to what you're doing, and if you're not getting really bit or they're coming up and chasing it, change the color or change the sizes. Put one small one, one big one, mess around with it a little bit. And
there's something else I got to tell you about this.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool deal.
Something else I have to tell you about this. And this is something that so many people are guilty of. Myself included too. Rig this thing up before you get on the water. And when you get on the water this time of the year, bring it out of the rod locker and lay it on the bed.
Why? Oh, have it ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you see that school of fish popping, you troll over there and get this thing in there. When you catch a fish doing something else and you see friends following it, you put that thing in the water. But if you got to dig it out, tie it up, or just dig it out, you missed the fire. The fire is like now. Yeah.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
It's the same thing as fishing a topwater bait and not having your follow-up bait ready.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you might only get one opportunity at that.
I mean, come on.
And then you're not ready for it.
George, it reminds me, what was that tournament this year where they had like a split second to throw their top water in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were just done.
Yeah.
Late.
They weren't even casting.
It was right at their feet.
Yeah.
And they were throwing the other bait, and then they had it right, and they started busting. And they had it just, boom, boom.
First they had to reel the other one in.
Right. Boom, 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 boom.
A lot of them
Reel
weren't
it
even
in.
doing
Boom,
that.
boom. You know what I mean? Boom, boom.
Lee Livesey didn't even cast.
He was waiting.
He just stood there.
Yeah. That was, I like fishing. All right.
Mike would be casting no matter what.
That's rigged up. How do you
Lee
secure the
Livesey's
baits?
fishing for 100,000.
Yeah. How do you
Mike's
secure the
fishing for
baits,
$10.
George? Here's a great one. How do you secure that bait in your boat? Well, that's a big problem because you got that sliding thing. We hook the one down low on the keeper, and we take the other one, and you can just put it up on another guide and just hang it there.
Or put it on.
It's not pretty.
Or we put one of our wraps on it.
But it's not pretty. It's not a pretty setup, man. You always have this thing hanging there.
The second
fluke, one's a pain in the ass.
What you want to do with the second fluke is bring it down towards the handle and then wrap it with a wrap.
Yeah, that's the best way.
That's the best way because Mike and I usually don't do it that way.
It tangles everything
and
up,
then
man. It's horrible.
we stretch it the other way and hook it on a top guide.
Yeah, you can take it up there.
But there's always a little loop in there.
Yep. Tangles all up, pain in the neck. If you're a lot more organized, you can get that wrap and wrap it right, pull it down to against the snap, and wherever it comes up against your rod, you wrap it right on there. That would be the best.
Then you're clean.
And
then wrap the line around your guides.
But when you get to your spot, as George explained, get the thing out of the rod locker,
get it ready,
and take it apart and get it ready. You got to be ready. It'll help you with that.
Yep.
All right, fellas.
Rig of the week.
Not
the donkey rig.
No.
Not the donkey rig.
The double fluke.
The double fluke rig.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, glad everybody hung on long tonight. Appreciate it. I hope you learned a little something, a little tip from what we talked about tonight. We enjoyed bringing it to you, and we will catch you guys all on the next Tackle Shop Live.
Right there, you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day, you called me up. You told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me